It's been a really long time since I visited my home. January has been a very busy month for me. I'm here briefly to check on the progress of the home. I brought my girls some treats. Not a lot of cooking goes on here. It's only my farmhand who lives here, so they don't get to enjoy the kitchen scraps which they love so much. I carried some of that from home, and I hope this makes them happy. This feed consists of all sorts of vegetables. I just cut them up, mixed them with some ugali, and delivered it to them, and they always love it so much. Of course, I cannot live without collecting some eggs. That is always the most fulfilling part of this project for me. And the girls continue to give us more eggs here, which is really amazing. It is always so satisfying gathering these eggs. I'm just tempted to bring in more chickens, and that will mean more eggs and more feed. I will have to think about that. I do not have a nursery bed here, so I usually start my seeds in planters like the one I'm carrying and then transfer them to the garden. The last time I was here, I put some ginger into the soil. I wasn't sure if they were going to grow because this is really my first time trying to plant ginger. I understand it is a tropical plant and I expect it to do well here. I just put some of the pieces into the soil and I wasn't even sure they would grow. Fortunately, they have done well. They are growing and I want to plant them on the garden. This is definitely a first in this village. I've never seen anyone grow ginger. All the ginger we eat here come from other counties. I saw a board in a friend's garden and it was written, "There are no mistakes in gardening, just experiments." And this is one of those successful garden experiments. I'm really excited to be trying this new crop in my garden this year and I want to try more. And I will be showing you every step, every new crop I will be bringing in here. I will show you and we will see what works and what doesn't. When trying new crops and vegetables in my garden, I usually start with a small quantity. I don't plant large areas of things I'm not very sure of. So that's the reason you see just a few plants. Not all of them have germinated. Some are still very tiny. They have not even popped out of the soil. But I'm really hopeful they're all going to grow. I believe ginger produces lots of shoots as it grows, so I know this is going to spread and it's going to cover a larger area than the area I'm planting. At least that's what I've seen in the videos I watch where people grow ginger. So like this one here was just beginning to sprout. I didn't even see it. One advantage with our type of soil is it has poor drainage. So in dry seasons like this, you will find the soil surface dry, but the inside is so moist. So the retention of water is only a disadvantage in the rainy seasons. I also have some harvesting to do. I haven't been here in a while, and when that happens, I find a lot of vegetables that are ready to harvest. So today I'm harvesting the sunflower. The seeds are now dry and ready to harvest. This is another successful experiment. So the next time I'm growing sunflower, I will do a bigger patch. I grow them specifically for the chickens. I add it to their feed, meal it, and they really enjoy eating it, and it is quite healthy. After harvesting all the sunflower, I'm going to uproot the older dry plants and I will prepare this patch for a different crop. There have been so many birds hanging around here, and I thought they would eat all the seeds. I'm just glad they didn't touch the sunflower. Maybe they're just not familiar with it because not many people grow sunflower here. The chilies are still in plenty and there are so many ripe ones. If there's one thing I enjoy harvesting, it is the chilies. Though harvesting anything is just so satisfying always. You can see how clean the garden is. We have done the plowing and we are just waiting for the rains to come so we can plant maize. Maize is our staple food and it can never miss in our gardens, and we grow it in large quantities. There's been a change in climate and looks like this year we are going to plant a little earlier because it is January and it is sort of raining, even though not much, but we never receive rains in January, so it's quite strange that we are having some downpour in January. So other than our usual chilies and bananas, I made some additions to the garden. We now have cowpeas, which look really healthy. I love to see them. I tried the watermelons again this time. I just changed the patch and they look amazing. This is the second time I'm experimenting with watermelon. Our sugarcane look great. This is just the perfect soil for sugarcane. And as always, the bananas are looking good. I also took different varieties of pumpkin and planted them on one patch. There's not much fruit. I don't know if pollination is not happening well, but I can see a few pumpkins already forming. Some are quite big already, and that is also very encouraging. I also have some good news from the orchard. The pawpaw tree is fruiting. Remember, I planted 6 trees and then 5 turned out to be male, so I uprooted them and I left only this one, and it's now fruiting, and soon we will be enjoying pawpaws. Our yard is looking good. The grass has grown a little taller. The guy was away, he's back and he's just trying to fix everything. The flower island is looking great, and it's just beautiful looking around here. Someone asked about the sheep. Yes, they're still around, but I leave them with my neighbor, so occasionally they come and graze here, but then my neighbor keeps them. So I'm just going to remove all the seeds from the sunflower crown, and then I will let them dry completely before mixing it with chicken feed and saving some seeds for the next season. I'm back on this other side, and it's almost evening. Tomorrow is a weekend and I want to make some bread for tomorrow's breakfast. I haven't baked bread in a while and they're quite easy to bake. Though I hate the kneading, so I find baking cakes easier than baking bread. Today's bread recipe is also from Barbara's bread book. You need I just love how she works with very simple ingredients in her book. And for a villager like me who has a challenge of getting some ingredients, this is just the best recipe book for me, especially when making breads, which I didn't make earlier until I got this book. So I'm forever grateful to Barbara for sending me this book. I'm slowly becoming a pro at bread baking. If you want to enjoy more of her recipes, you can follow her on the Bear Pantry Show, where she shares lots of recipes other than just bread recipes. That was a lot of kneading and my dough is now very smooth. So I'm going to grease my bowl and then put it in there and grease the top. Then cover with a polythene bag or a clean kitchen towel, and then we shall leave it to rise for about 1 hour. So we are punching out the air, and then we shall need a little more. Then we shall divide it into 3 pieces, or you can leave it as one whole piece and bake it after allowing it to rise again for another 30 minutes or so. I will be going a little extra with mine today. I want to form some interesting shapes. So I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces, then I will braid them. You can braid it any style you want. I'm going to do the regular braiding, just the way I braid my hair. I think that's the simplest way to braid. So I will cut it into 3 strips and then show you how I braid. It's quite simple, isn't it? So once you're done braiding, then you can pinch the ends on both sides. Once you're done braiding, then you can spread the baking sheet on the oven tray and then just lay them there. Brush them with oil and then cover for another about 30 minutes, and this will allow them to rise further. So this is the bread book from which I'm getting my bread recipes. You can buy it on Amazon. And the Bear Pantry Show is a YouTube channel, so you can check out other recipes from Barbara McNabb. So lastly, we are going to have an egg wash on our dough before we put it in the oven to bake. our bread is ready. It took a little longer in the oven. I had gone for a walk and even forgot I had something in the oven, but they look amazing. Thank you guys for watching and for always hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.